Hey Little Liars, welcome to our second to last episode of the Rosewood Rundown. I'm Leanne Aguilera.
I'm Katie Krause, and today we have two very special guests, Sasha Pieterse
and Marlene King. Yay!
Hello!
Ladies,
whoa, listen to that applause.
We have a lot
very
of people
excited
here today, guys. That's why we had to shift up our dynamic as to where we're filming. But thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
Of course.
Before we get into our bombshells, I want to remind you guys to send in your theories, your questions. We promise we are going to get to as many of them as possible, right, guys?
Yes.
Marlene even said maybe a spoiler or two will come out.
Accidentally.
No, Mar, I know you've got some exclusive spoilers for us that you can trickle out.
No pressure.
Let's talk about last night's episode. Let's dive into our three biggest bombshells of the night. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that was our penultimate episode of Pretty Little Liars, first of all. That was so
It was, well, and that was written by Joe Doherty. He's one of our go-to awesome writers. He also directed the episode. And we, as a writer's room, we really set out to make that feel like a finale. Like if this wasn't the series ending coming up, that would be like a big, bold finale last night.
I was going to say, what did you want to set up or convey in that episode?
I really, in an odd way, a sense of closure. We got a lot of answers, and the PLLs got to sort of take a breath. So we set up next week's episode really with a fresh start almost.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's talk about Emily's dream.
Which was the scene that we saw in the Pretty Little Liars 5 Years Forward jump.
Yeah.
And I understand, did you guys reshoot that scene?
Yeah, well, we kind of had to. We
Yeah, to make it continuous.
Yeah, we weren't sure where to fit it in. I really enjoyed that with the whole like zombie hand going through, and that was fun to film. We always have cool ways to do that.
It was interesting. It was when we shot that. It was our first. It was the 5A finale, and it was the first time we get to see the looks of the new girls. And so going back a year and a half later and matching those looks to the T and everything was, kudos to hair and makeup and costumes.
Yeah, they did such an amazing job.
Can you talk about the decision, Mar, to make that a dream sequence?
Well, I'll be super honest, when we first shot it, we didn't know who it was. I mean, that's a spoiler right there. Yeah, we wanted to, it was a last minute decision to add that scene to the script because we just wanted to give fans a sense of what that flash forward was going to look like. And for a year and a half, we have been pondering, like, who was it? But we knew we were going to kill Archer, so it couldn't be him. And then we just thought, you know what, let's just really have fun with it in a Pretty Little Liars thriller sort of way and make it a nightmare.
Also really cool, that wall was foam. That piece of the wall was foam.
Is that how he was able to?
Yeah, that's how he was able to punch through the wall and it was cool.
Who did that?
One of our stunt guys.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he would have loved to have done that. But it was really cool the way they did that.
I got to ask about the chalkboard.
Yes.
There was a name on there, Allison De Laurentiis Fields. Is
Fields.
that hinting at anything to come?
I mean, it is a dream.
But we love to drop Easter eggs and hints, so, maybe tune in next week for sure. You'll find out.
Okay.
So crazy.
Our second biggest bombshell of the episode, we found out who killed Cece Charlotte Charles.
Yes, yeah.
Talk about the decision to make that Mona.
Well, Mona is such a beloved character on this show, and first we knew that we wanted Mona to ultimately end up spiraling into this game. It's sort of one of the most fun things about her. She's the most loyal friend to Hannah, but she has poor judgment also, and she can't not get caught up in these games, right? And so for her, the game continued, and this idea that Charlotte was going to continue the game really put Hannah's life at risk, and she didn't intend. It wasn't something she intended to do. She really did just want to scare her.
What about the game going to Emison's house? How did that happen? Will we get answers to that and the sleeping gas and?
A is just like an amazingly smart person.
Yeah.
Hyper intelligent,
and we always say that A, whether it was A, big A, or now AD, Uber A, AD has unlimited resources and unlimited brain power. That's how we've always sort of gone about A's business.
It was interesting that we did see how Cece got the mark on the back of her neck that eventually was the cause of her death. Does that mean that we can put the suitcase rumors to rest, that it wasn't Melissa's suitcase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Will that missing suitcase handle, because I feel like they kind of ran over Emily to get that piece. Will we get answers, or will that come back up in the finale?
We're very specific here. Come back up in the finale. But I feel like that you know, AD and the people who have been helping AD, you know, were also chasing a few threads and a few clues themselves. You know, there have been other people looking for AD. And the identity of AD, and that some of that you'll find out in the finale.
Okay. Our next bombshell, of course, Mary Drake's big confession, and the fact that she left the inn to Allie and Spencer to pay for lawyers. So kind of
Which is a very specific request.
I love Andrea, by the way. She's one of my dearest friends. We double date with her and her husband all the time.
Do you guys really?
Yeah, we do. But she's such an amazing actress.
Not Sasha and I, but Sasha and Hudson.
Yeah.
Although I'd be happy to go on a double date with Sasha.
Yeah, we should.
It'd be a triple date.
Yeah. But she's amazing.
She's amazing. And also I think that Mary is also a hyper intelligent person. I mean, we have sort of discovered that she's got all those books. She speaks many different languages. She's such a fun character to watch.
It makes sense that she's Spencer's mom too, you know?
Because Spencer's so smart. But I feel like all the liars this season, especially Hannah, we've seen kind of become these very smart women that we're not always portrayed that way.
Aria going in with the hacking skills?
I know.
What was that?
We've learned by osmosis and by just like watching Caleb, I think, and all his like, you know, brilliance.
Lucy loved that.
Yeah.
She's wanted to be bad for so long, and it took us a while to really figure out how we could make, you know, Aria see her dark side.
Talk about her kind of talking to the dead body in her trunk, because people were like, is that a hint of like multiple personality disorder?
I think she was just stressed.
Yeah, she was stressed out. Aria does not have multiple personalities. But I feel like it was just like calming. She was regulating herself.
And kind of calming herself down. Yeah. Okay, so don't read too much into that.
Correct.
Sasha, I wanted to talk to you because I talked to Troyan earlier this year, and she said that you and Andrea sat down and really discussed the De Laurentiis family tree.
Oh
and
my
God.
Yeah, we wrote it down. I remember we like took a script and like turned it over and like wrote the entire thing. We were like, Spencer's in it. How does that connect? Oh, okay, Mary Drake. Well, that's my aunt. Like we were just like we dissected it. We
so
like,
you and Spencer are cousins.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which is insane.
What about Jason? When is Jason coming back? Will he be in the finale?
He's not going to be in the finale. I mean, there are a couple actors that we really tried to get, but they were, you know, they're booked on other shows, and legally they can't come back to us. So he's one of those. But somebody we tried all season to get back, who is in the finale and on another show, is Melissa, Tori DeVito. So we were really excited about that.
How will Melissa's return affect the Hastings and the De Laurentiis' dynamic?
Well, you'll just have to wait and see.
Which leads us into our pretty little flashback of the week, because it definitely has to do with this twisted De Laurentiis Hastings family.
Okay.
So let's take a look at that, because I'm dying to get you guys' thoughts. This is from season 3, you guys.
Oh my God.
Going way back.
Going way back here. Let's take a look.
The last time I saw someone in this state, clinging to a secret this hard, it was Allison. A few weeks later, she was dead. Allison, where were you? I thought you were asleep in Spencer's room.
I had to go out.
But for what? What happened to your mouth? It's bleeding.
I must have scratched myself on a tree branch on my way over to the house. Can I go upstairs, please?
Why did you have to go to your house at 3 in the morning?
Mrs. Hastings, please. I can't talk about this.
Dun, dun, dun!
Who bloodied Allie's lip?
Was it a tree?
Well, it wasn't a tree, but I think during that episode in Allie's life, she was really sort of taunting and torturing the girls about these older people she was hanging out with, this sort of bad crowd. And I will tell you, as a writer's room, we never said specifically in our minds who it was. It was that group of people. Like she was trying to make the PLLs jealous. She was hanging out with older people, probably Charlotte, I would presume by that time. College kids, you know, the same group of kids that threw that poor girl down the stairs and broke her leg. So I feel like it lives in that world.
What about the NAT club? talking about the older kids.
That's so crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the finale that you can tell us about the NAT Club? Will we learn
No, 'cause
more about
I
that?
feel like we dealt with that. I thought with the season 5
dissolved.
A
Yeah.
finale, they just they grew up, and it was a group of people who were peeping toms. They were spying on people for kicks, and then as the tapes got out and their secrets got out, that got people killed, like Garrett and people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Garrett.
Carrot.
You guys have killed so
Throwback.
many people.
Yes,
know.
and the
I
liars
know.
have killed so many people, which is kind of crazy.
We still keep talking about the fact that, like, remember when Aria killed someone?
Yes.
in New York.
With it,
Shauna.
Yeah.
Shauna.
Yes.
That was an accident.
Yes.
We laughed
Sort
about
of.
that too, because it's like, of course, like the smallest one.
Yeah, kills her. She just
Saves
really
the
meant
day.
to knock her off her feet, and then
Yeah.
she went back.
Did you know? Well, Allison's never killed someone.
Wait.
She's been the cause of, I think, almost
Yes.
all of them, but she's never actually killed someone.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That is
right?
impressive. You deserve an applause for that.
Wait, so
I've
wait,
never
Hannah
buried- I've
killed
never
someone.
buried
Yeah,
anyone.
okay, wait,
I
let's
just
go through them
watched.
all. Who did Hannah kill?
Hannah killed Archer.
Archer. That's right.
Right.
Hannah killed Archer. Aria killed Sasha. No.
Shauna.
Shauna.
Yeah.
Shauna.
Shauna.
I don't think Spencer's
what?
killed anyone
That we know of.
that we know of.
Who?
Shauna.
Arya killed Shauna.
Arya
Yes.
killed
Has
Shauna.
Emily killed
Emily killed Nate.
Emily
Yes.
killed Vance.
Right. That's
And-
right.
Didn't she kill someone?
And Mona killed Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Who killed Wilden again?
Uh,
Was it Ashley?
Help us out,
Wilden.
fans.
Oh no, that
Charles.
was no. Wilden was Ashley Marin. I have to go. I
Oh,
have to
yes,
go
yeah,
over it.
Ashley
Yeah.
Marin did
Yeah.
kill Sharon.
with
Oh my
the,
gosh.
no.
Oh no
with
no
the
no no
gun.
no no.
Did she shoot it?
Yeah, he got shot.
They tried
Right.
to frame
Yes.
her, right?
Yes.
Oh,
I gotta
he
go
got
back and
shot, and she left him.
This is so fun
Oh
for
my
me.
God. this show.
Charlotte shot Wilden.
That's right.
Charlotte
Okay.
And Ashley found him and she
Marin
walked
ran
away.
him over with a car,
Yes.
right? And then
yes.
Charlotte shot him in the woods. I'm pretty sure. And then brought him to in front of the church
Right.
and left him there to frame the girls.
Yeah.
With
There
her
you
phone.
have it.
She
See
put
how
the
it
phone in
goes?
the
Connect the dots. It
this
takes
is
a little time.
My favorite.
I
'Cause
know.
Only with Pretty Little Liars have we just had to be like, who killed who?
And by the way,
right now?
that we've been all right with it.
Yes,
Right?
Yes. Well, we've been following the show, but this is really fun for me to actually sit with you guys and do this.
Yeah, no,
And for
exactly.
the fans
Get your
of Marianne.
diagrams
Well,
out.
Yeah.
since we've already been asking so many questions, Katie, I think it is time for our special finale edition of the Rosewood Fast Five.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have been asking, Sasha, you answered these last week. We've been asking so many of the PLL stars a same series of questions, but Mar, we altered this one a little bit so that you
okay.
could play too. So
You're gonna
kicking us
trick
off,
me up.
Lucky
I
you.
know
yes,
it.
this
Yeah.
is the finale edition. So first one, how many weddings will we witness?
If I tell you that, it ruins the first hour of the finale for you. So
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you the answer to
Ooh.
that one.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
Which couple has the most shocking scene in the finale?
Oh,
Sasha,
gosh,
you're
you
biting your
guys are
lip
like-
there.
I know. Maybe. I don't know. Gosh, it's so hard to say
I
without
know,
giving
I know.
something.
But you don't have to give away what happens, just which couple has a shocking something happen to them.
Shocking is Emison.
Yeah.
We'll take
In
that.
a romantic way or the identity of the baby's father way?
Well, we can say that. We find out that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
It was
told me
on my
that a
talking
couple weeks
point.
ago.
I was allowed. I won't get sued. You find out the baby.
Who's going
daddy.
to sue you?
Well, it's not
State
someone.
police.
No one's going to sue you, but there are snipers coming from the free
Yeah.
building,
We're
which
gonna
is
red
right
dot
behind
them
you
Some
right now.
drone is going to come up right now, like A is
I
watching
should
you.
say, when I talked to you last week, you said something about, oh, there's one of them, because I had asked, is there an engagement or a baby name? And people read into that and said, wait, does she mean only one baby name, as in there's two babies? Can you
She
guys?
meant you'll
No,
know
I,
yeah,
I
one
think
or
you'll
the
know. I
other.
meant you'll know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Don't
you.
trick
All right.
me.
No,
Clarify.
just clarify
I meant you'll
that.
know the baby
This should
name.
be like a special.
Or
This show should have a special
Wait,
name, like
yeah,
Trick
Baby
Me
Daddy.
Up. Like,
Yeah.
That,
can we trip up Sasha
can we
and
trip
Mar?
up Sasha and Mar? Well, it is called the Rosewood Rundown, so we're going to try.
Okay.
Number
good.
3, who has changed the most after the 1-year time jump in the finale?
Toby.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting Allison.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toby.
What was the most difficult scene to shoot in the
You don't have to
finale?
describe the scene.
Or I know for me, but you go first.
Me? It's a tie between the goodbye scene for how the fans will see it,
Okay.
which we didn't shoot as our last scene. That was really hard
Intentionally, because we knew
intentionally
if
we
it
knew
was
it
our
would ruin it.
if
we
it
would
was
just
our
not
last
be able to
scene.
handle ourselves.
Exactly.
And then the actual last scene that we shot, we were so emotional because the way we were filming it, a character was on camera and the rest of us weren't. And so
But
when
you
they
were in
called,
the
so
scene.
we were in the scene. So when we called cut, it like we knew like, oh, that's it. We're done. And there were so many people around the monitors. So there was probably what I
100
would say
people.
100 people, including us, and like we all had our PLL jackets on, and it was like, that's it. It was the strangest feeling.
The whole day was
It was
surreal
so
because
surreal.
Lisa Carver, our line producer, had made the high school yearbooks for us, and
They're so beautiful.
The girls gave us all our high school jackets,
Yeah.
which were so cool, and so the whole
We
day everybody was
bawled.
signing yearbooks. It was like the last day of school.
Yeah, we bawled.
But I would say that for me, the scene that was brutal, but I think more brutal for you guys, the very last scene, because I just had
Yeah.
to say action, cut, and but like
Oh, it was so hard.
there's a scene that was the goodbye scene where the PLLs are saying goodbye to one of their characters that felt like such a final goodbye. Like that was, I couldn't talk, and I kept having
Marlene
to say
had
to
come in.
you,
It was I had the hardest line of the scene. It was like
It sums
was
up
so
the
sad.
whole
And
show,
she's like,
really.
Sasha, I
Can't understand a word you're saying.
We can't understand you. You're crying so hard that it's coming off a little strange on camera. So back off a little bit.
It was hard, and it was a scene. I mean, we were all dreading that scene for the whole episode because we knew it would be so brutal. Which is why we didn't make it the very last scene we shot, because we would have been there all day.
Yeah.
Well, and this leads perfectly into our last question, which was, how would you describe the very last scene of the series in one word?
The very last scene
That
of
the
the
fans will see?
series.
Like-
Yes, that the fans will see.
Do you know what that is? Do you remember what that is?
I think so.
It's that full circle. It's a full circle moment.
Yes.
It's like a bonus full circle moment.
Yeah.
That I think that.
We always leave that like tag after. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of that although this show ends, the world continues.
It was one of my favorites. I was like,
I was gonna say, what was your reaction when you read the final scene?
I'm so glad that you put it in there because it didn't like necessarily shock me, but it was epic, and I was like, that is amazing. That
there's something
sums
we
up
just
our show
own,
in
yeah.
a way. It was like, that is so PLL, and
Was that
just
your
all makes
goal
sense.
when you were writing it, Mar? To make it a full circle moment?
Yeah, and just to know that the mythology of this town will always go on. It's not
Yeah.
going to end with the end of Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
Well, we are starting to get so many fan questions and so many
Yeah.
things to you guys. So let's start to, okay, Courtney says, now if Mona killed
Do you
Charlotte,
think her real name is Courtney?
I mean, I hope so, right?
No, she could be
Funny.
Courtney
Yeah.
from the book.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
Which
sorry.
is Allie's twin in the books for all you Sarah Shepard fans out there. Courtney said, if Mona killed Charlotte, who pushed her off the bell tower and posed her body with the purple roses?
Mona.
Okay.
yeah.
So Mona did do
Yeah.
that. All right.
I had both of those episodes were written by Joe Doherty, so I was to go in my mind and make sure my mythology is the same as his. But yes.
Jessica says, anyone notice how scared Mona looked last night when Caleb sat in front of her, or how pompous he was taking that pie from her? My bet is he's
love
AD.
I love that.
Thomas Caleb.
He loved, by the way, he loved doing that in at the table read. He was like, oh yeah, and he did the action at the table read, like he was gonna take her pie.
Pie is its own character.
It is.
It's like,
It
we
is.
love
It means a
pie.
lot
We
to
love
the
pie.
Aria and Ezra fans.
Yeah. Pie.
Well, and also speaking of that scene, I loved the little bit of humor that you put in right before Caleb and Spencer go down the hole. She's like, "What do you think of the ladies' room?"
That's how I think this is what this show does, though. We have so much
Yeah.
fun with. It's life and death stakes, but at the same time, you can laugh and get laid and wear fun
But
clothes.
also, Caleb's always been that way. They've always like
Taken
had
a
that
moment
special.
for
yeah,
that,
they've got
yeah.
such a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Now, we have asked both of you about this separately, but the fans are clamoring for it. So I'm going to put you on the spot. What are the chances that we could get an Emison spinoff for Pretty Little Liars?
Well, I mean, everything is possible, and anything is possible.
People think that your new series, The Perfectionists, could tie in somehow with a Pretty Little Liars spin-off. Can you speak to that
It
at all?
could.
Ooh.
Could.
So it could be in the same kind of universe.
Could be in the same universe or feel like a similar universe.
Would any of the characters, like Allie, be in that in some capacity?
They could be.
Okay.
I would love to be honest about everything, but
No,
it's
I
still a
know.
little too early.
I
Okay.
love doing interviews with Mar, by the way, because I can just
You were
let
just
her
like
take
nervous. You were like,
But you guys get this twinkle in your eye, like here it comes. She's
Well,
gonna tell us, like,
because
very excited.
we like
I know.
tiptoe. We're like, hey.
Well, I'm hoping in the next couple weeks we can talk more about the. I saw Sarah last week. She was out here. And we had dinner and we talked a lot about the book and just about things she's doing and things I'm doing, and we love working together. So hopefully we can get to do much more, many more things together.
Well, and it's been so great because you guys have had such an amazing creative dynamic together to really take this amazing book world that she started and not only like bring it to life, especially in that first season, but then to build even more on that while still having her blessing. It's been so cool to see over these past 7 seasons.
She's lovely, and I think
an awesome
we all
person.
set out. I think everybody read the books either before the pilot or while we were making the pilot. So,
Yeah.
and my goal was just to write these characters as she wrote them in her book and be true to the characters. Then we could go play in our world. And I think you guys and everybody else did such a great job of owning those characters and staying true to them for this whole time.
Yeah, and I love how passionate she is about our show too. She's always so excited. She came to the set, I think, when we were filming the last episode.
Yep, with her
And
son.
yeah, with her son, which was so cool to see. He's so cute. But it was a cool experience because she was so into it.
Yeah.
And she was so happy with, I think, what you've done. And
I think she told me a story where I don't know if it was her first baby or her second baby, she went into labor and she was at the hospital. She forgot to DVR Pretty Little Liars, so she sent her mom home. And she's like, and the mom's like, I don't want to miss the birth. And she's like, Mom, go home and set the DVR for Pretty Little Liars.
That is dedication.
That's so cute.
Before we get into the rest of our AD theories, because there's so many good ones coming in for the fans, this is really fitting. Mariah says, Marlene, what has been your favorite scene over the past 7 seasons?
Oh, that's really, really hard. There's a
Scene, not even
handful of
episode?
them.
That's hard.
I feel like probably the scene we talked about, that goodbye scene, is really fun. There's the scene after that I think is really fun. And I go back to the pilot a lot. I think finding Allie's body for me is a moment that brought all the girls together. You're in the body bag, but still, you were very much a part of that. It wasn't even your body. But it's, I think, I'll go by episode. I think the pilot, and then I love the episode where we revealed that Toby was on the A team, because that was so shocking.
Yeah. Oh, I was so shocked. I think that was still one of my biggest.
That one, and I love all the dollhouse stuff, and then the episode where you are locked in Radley with Charlotte also was like.
Yeah.
I go back to the ones that like you're and the one where we find out your story, the season 4 finale. So I can't pick just
Summer of
one.
Answers.
I love that one
That
too.
was like real turning point for your character and for your character's relationship with the girls. That was a beautiful episode.
I feel like Allie's arc over these 7 seasons, your character has been the most, in a way, changed
Yeah.
in that you were so sassy at first, and now you.
Well, me.
I mean, you have.
I was more than sassy.
That was a nice way of Katie saying it.
You have like such a big heart, and you're not as into the whole gaming aspect
It's
of
cool
it.
to see. It was fun to be every kind of Allison. She really transformed and
And I
became
think
sensitive.
I feel like that also written by Joe, the Paige and Allison scene where Paige really forces Allison to get in touch with who she is. Like that was a transformative moment for your character.
Yeah, and we finally adulted. Allison finally adulted, she finally realized that she shouldn't hide from herself anymore.
Which makes sense that it was delayed because she didn't get to go to high school. She didn't get to have those growing up years.
She was on the run for most of it.
We want to play the sneak peek of the finale episode, and then we want to talk a little bit about that and then take some more fan questions, if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah,
Great.
let's do
Let's
it.
take a look
Let's
at the
do it.
teaser for the 2-hour finale next week. Oh my gosh, it's almost
Pay close
here.
attention.
Take a look.
Game over.
There's only one rule. You don't look back.
No more secrets.
What is going on? I can't marry Ezra.
AD is revealed. The 2-hour series finale.
I never would have guessed it was you.
Oh,
Okay. My first question. It looks like Mary Drake is stabbing Spencer. But we've seen them have such compassionate and like loving moments recently.
There's a lot going on in that preview.
You were saying that
A
you
lot
had to
more than I
approve
expected,
that.
actually.
Were there any versions before that promo that you were like, no, because this scene can't be in
Well,
it?
I've always like take out certain frames,
Okay.
take out certain. But I think the network has gotten so great at knowing what they can and can't reveal, and knowing what spoilers as opposed to what just makes you excited. So
Right.
they're pretty good at cranking out those promos.
Is there something then that happens that makes Mary Drake?
Well, there's a 1-year time jump, so a lot can happen in a year that sort
Okay.
of resets the show from where we left it last night.
Okay. Are we meant to believe that that is Spencer? Because there's rumors out there that she has a twin.
And that has
What-
been our
yes.
favorite
No,
theory.
that's Spencer.
And I talked to
I
you
can
about
tell
that.
you, that is Spencer.
That's Spencer.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. The gun. Ren. Is there a murder in the finale?
Oh, there's a shooting. There's
There's a
a shooting.
shooting.
I
Yeah.
can tell you that. There's a
Okay.
shooting.
Okay.
I
Okay,
just forgot about something that I was like, oh, I totally forgot you guys are
Ooh,
gonna love it.
Jody, I like this one. My theory is that instead of Spencer's twin theory, it's actually Melissa in a Spencer mask, and Ren is Melissa's helper. Wow, Jody.
Okay.
That's a cool theory.
Yeah.
Oh, so there is at least one mask in the finale, maybe two.
Okay.
So
Are
there's
they
a spoiler?
very
I won't tell you
realistic
whose
looking
mask
masks?
it is. Very realistic looking masks.
All
Yeah.
right.
We've tricked a lot of people with masks.
Yeah.
You guys have. And with wigs.
And
And
lots,
lots, lots of
and
wigs.
lots
The Wilden,
of
the
wigs.
Wilden mask, though.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that was a fun scene. That was such a fun scene.
He's
Yeah.
so fun too. Like he
Yeah.
really ate it up.
Yeah.
He's so
Such
fun.
a nice guy, too.
Jordan says, I'm convinced Ezra is AD. Who else would be so interested in keeping Aria out of trouble? And let's not forget he had an entire lair when he was writing his book. That's
He
important.
did have a lair. He had a good lair.
Yeah.
Too. Very good organized lair.
And Emma says, Toby is probably not AD because remember when he was chasing Emily in the school and wanted to talk to her about, and he probably wanted to warn her about Jenna or Mona. Oh my gosh, you guys have such good theories to
Yeah.
go back
I
so
think people
far.
have like watched the shows over and over and over
Yeah.
again. Oh, well, Toby. I mean, everybody knows I love Toby, so the chances of him being AD would be slim.
Right.
If someone were to be so ambitious, Mar, and rewatch
Like
the
you.
whole rewatch the whole series before the finale, is there a certain episode in particular, maybe one that's early on, that you're like, maybe pay attention to this one?
I think it's really all of these last 10 episodes. We've dropped a lot of Easter eggs
lot of
intentionally into them because we wanted fans to have a really good chance to figure this out and be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you literally, if you watch the last 10, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense. It's fun. It's really fun. You're going to love it.
Are you? So, I was going to say, are you? I know that you've seen that someone has guessed it correctly online. Does that make you happy, or do you wish that you had still stumped them?
At first I freak out, and then I see somebody else's theory that isn't right, and I realize it's still
Yeah.
out there in the universe, could go either way, then I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
When Brendan Robinson was here, he told us that you can go all the way back and that there will be flashbacks after the reveal. Can you kind of talk about that montage and what that flashback will be? How far back will we go?
Well, you know, it's really you go
all over the place, actually.
It is all over the place, but I feel like I want to make sure that fans understand that like this AD. Well, everybody is interwoven.
Yeah.
But as one story ends, another began. So with the reveal of Mona, then became the Charlotte story, and then with the reveal of Charlotte becomes this AD. So this AD is separate in terms of playing the game from those other A's.
Always
So it's nothing
stealing that
we would've
game.
noticed though, going back to like season 1 or 2.
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
We still have so many other theories.
I
Kira
know.
says, I think Aria is AD and has a split personality disorder and doesn't know when she
Here's
becomes
the split
AD.
personality
People
disorder
really think
back.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking about the promo, and does Aria say, I can't marry Ezra or I can't
Bury Ezra.
Mary.
Marry.
That one we know.
Okay,
Hopefully
yeah,
you
'cause
guys
I
are-
did hear
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I can't marry. No, marry him. Also, that's a long engagement.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a really long engagement.
Ginger says, I think AD is Paige. Nothing is worse than a love-scorned female.
Oh, I don't know. Love scorned boy could be nasty too.
Yeah.
It's true.
So hear that.
Will Paige be in the finale?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other major returns that you can talk about? Maybe some parents that we haven't seen or siblings that we haven't seen in a while.
I know. Well, I think we see some of the moms are back.
Okay.
Right? The ones that are still alive.
Okay. Wait.
Does that mean Holly Marie Combs is back?
Yes.
Yes!
Okay,
We have been
love
asking her for forever. Katie, should we ask it now? We have been saying
yes.
that we're going to ask you this all season of the Rosewood Rundown.
How did the moms get out of the basement?
You
My
have to
favorite
wait
question.
till next week.
Really? It's
It's
shown?
discussed. Well, it's not shown.
Okay.
But it's discussed?
It's discussed. Maybe not completely in the way you want, but it is discussed.
It was my favorite question. I had that same question since it happened. I was like, so what? How
Yeah.
did they do that?
What answer, aside from who is AD, are you most excited to answer for the fans? Both of you guys.
Well, for me, it's the why. Why
Yeah.
is AD AD, and how did AD become AD?
Okay.
I don't know if it's a question. It's more so I think I was amazed about how it happened and how it was accomplished. That was so fun. But it really is the why. It doesn't baffle you because you find out why and how and you get to understand it a little bit more. But it's just so twisted that it's really intriguing and
Intriguing
I've
is a good
never.
word.
It is because I've never known how you guys do this. Whenever I think it's done, I'm like, how are they going to move on from this? And it's just a whole other surprise, and it really does live up to.
And
POL.
maybe you guys can clarify it a little bit because Janelle said when she was
That's right. We do it all the time.
Janelle said when she was here that for the reveal, it's a little bit of everything at once. Like we're finding out as the girls are finding out. It's not so much a reveal. Can you guys explain a little bit how that happens, I guess?
How everything unfolds.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's also the viewers will know before the girls do, which is always fun. Just a little bit. There's. I mean, I know, right?
It's not unlike sort of some of our other finales. The reveal. This is why we wanted it to be 2 hours long because we didn't want to leave fans with a lot of questions. So the reveal is very important, but then the understanding of it is equally as important. So that's why it's 2 hours. So both the fans and the pre-viewers can all process it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, Sasha, take us back to the time when you were processing who AD was. Mar, how did you tell her? Like, what was this conversation
didn't.
like? She didn't.
Yeah, I was sneaky about it. I was asking all the right questions to the right person.
What
Who
questions were
spilled
you
it?
asking?
Are we asking them too?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I knew more than you. So I found out like little bits and pieces, and I was trying to piece it together, and so.
Because the person who is AD asked me not to tell anyone because that person didn't want to affect certain scenes in certain ways.
Ooh. But I was like, come on. I'm a good secret keeper.
You are a good secret
I've
keeper.
never said anything like, please. And I did end up finding out
Before other people?
before most most people, which I was proud of. But I think that's really the only thing I've
You're
ever
a
found
sleuther.
out.
Look at you.
I am.
How
That's
very
really the only thing
Spencer
I
of
found
you.
out before anyone else. For the most part, everyone's been on the same plane.
A lot of people found out at the table read because we didn't give the scripts out ahead of time because we didn't want them to get out into the world.
But to be fair, I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just knew who.
When you found out how, what kind of went through your mind?
It's like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
I hope that's the shocking review on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. It was
Right?
brilliant.
It really was though. I
How-
was really proud of it.
How did you tell this person who is going to be AD that they were going to be AD? Was that a separate
Ooh,
conversation?
This is a good one.
Yes, that was a separate conversation that I had just with that person fairly early on when the decision was made that would be AD because it affected a lot of that person's.
I feel like
Performances.
we can put a pin in that because, spoiler alert, Marlene King is going to be joining us next week after the finale, and we can fully ask her all of the questions, which I'm so excited about.
There you go.
Yeah.
As we get into this final 2-hour episode, what do you think that true fans out there need when they're going to watch it? What should be at their PLL viewing parties?
Cupcakes,
Yes. We're gonna need something to eat and
Pie?
Yeah.
pie, popcorn.
Tissues?
Tissues, for sure.
What was what board shorts ale?
Board shorts,
You
ale.
can find something similar.
And if you're of age.
And
Yeah.
if you're of age.
Yes.
Which now a lot of people are. They grew up on
Right.
this show, which is
Italian soda
amazing.
works just fine.
Italian,
Some ginger
Italian
beer.
soda. Yeah, I think Friends. I would try. I met a woman recently. She's 30 now, and she's watched every finale with her friends, and now they're going to watch this final finale all together. Like, I feel like if you can watch it, watch it live with your friends, so we can all be there together.
Yeah. Will you guys all be watching it
Yes.
Yeah.
together? Yeah.
Amazing.
We'll be watching it together.
Yeah, we'll be watching
Yeah.
it together. We're going to be like having you back for next week. We're also going to be speaking with AD.
I hope like in a couple of years it's like, where were you when you
Yeah.
found out who
Yeah.
AD was?
Ooh, I love
I
that.
think it's going to be that iconic and memorable that you will remember.
I think so.
Amazing.
That's the hope. Fingers crossed.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. We really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
And thank you to all you fans who've been
Thank
tuning
you,
in and
thank you,
sending in your
guys.
theories. So many amazing ones. We have our very last episode of the Rosewood Rundown next week at noon, so stay tuned. Thank you, ladies, again, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.